What is going on, guys? Rangovidzamango12 here, and we are reviewing Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man issue 24. Now, also this is One More Day Part 2, which is the next issue to the Amazing Spider-Man issue 544. Now, I know it's a little bit confusing. Basically, it's a little bit like the Spider-Verse, you know, like where you had to buy Superior Spider-Man issue 32 and 33 to know what happens in Amazing Spider-Man issue 9. It's kind of like that, where you have to go onto a different series to continue the story. It's like that. The title has a different name. That is literally all it is. So yeah, without further ado, guys, let's get into this issue, because this is one of the most interesting issues in the One More Day storyline. So let's get into it. Alright, so kicking off this issue, it pretty much picks up right from where the last issue left off with I know he said Peter Parker then, with Spider-Man swinging towards Doctor Strange, and of course he's only just got them enough money to handle Aunt May's medical bills from Tony Stark and Jarvis, with the total amount of $2 million, which is absolutely crazy. But of course he goes to Doctor Strange, he rings the doorbell, and you guys are going to have to kind of keep up with me here. Read the comic as well, but try and keep up with me, because it does get a little bit confusing towards the end of the comic, mainly just because of what's going on. But yes, as per usual, the only answer that's being given to Spider-Man is that Aunt May cannot be helped, she cannot be healed, she took a bullet to the stomach, for God's sakes. But one thing that I know he said Dormammu then, what the hell? One thing that Doctor Strange can do is pretty much send Spider-Man into like multiple places all at the same time, because Spider-Man doesn't really believe that Aunt May cannot be helped. So he sends Spider-Man to multiple places all at the same time, so that he can ask like Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Captain America, the Avengers. He can ask all of them all at the same time, and obviously every single one of them says no. And that is what Doctor Strange is trying to put across, that Spider-Man cannot like take the answer seriously. As you can see here, he's asking the Fantastic Four, he's asking Doom, he's asking the X-Men, he's even asking people that want to kill Spider-Man, such as Dr. Octopus and all of them other crazy people. But of course, Spider-Man still doesn't think the answer is right. So when Doctor Strange turns his back, Spider-Man actually uses some of the mystical powers that apparently mere mortals are not powerful enough to use and can possibly kill you. He actually uses it to travel back in time to the point where Aunt May actually does get shot, and he actually ends up in the same room where the killer, well, the sniper, was waiting for them to return, like waiting for Peter Parker to return to the apartment. And I didn't actually review this issue, but actually what happened was Peter Parker, like the past version, the one that walks into the room with Aunt May, he actually, on the way there, could sense something behind him, and he didn't know what it was. And you find out now that it was actually Peter Parker sensing his spiritual self from the future. So the present Spider-Man that we're reading about right now, who is like in this ghost form, he could sense his ghost form of the future one behind him, and that meant that he could get through to him, which was just so awesome. But of course, you had like these ghost beings. They kind of look like symbiote Dementor creatures, and they basically try and capture you and stop you from doing whatever you're doing. And we get this awesome point where Spider-Man tries to warn his past self about what's going on, and of course Aunt May is in the crossfire. And I absolutely loved it where the ghost version of Spider-Man, it actually gets shot through the chest, and it actually goes through him into Aunt May. And we have this amazing panel of Peter Parker and our present Spider-Man both screaming no, as Peter Parker pretty much relived Aunt May getting shot. And of course, just before he's about to get captured by those symbiote Dementor things, why do I keep calling Doctor Strange Dormammu? What the hell? Doctor Strange actually saves him, and Peter actually, his physical body isn't strong enough now, because he's just dealt with mystical powers that is like beyond his comprehension. So he couldn't physically stand, so he had to stay in this room to pretty much heal and gain his consciousness back and stuff like that. But one thing that's really interesting and confusing about this is that whilst Spider-Man is like in this room, he hears a familiar voice, and he goes like he listens through the door, and it's actually his past self from the Amazing Spider-Man issue 42, speaking with Doctor Strange. So, of course, on the other side of this door, because they're dealing with time travel and stuff like that, it's actually a past version of Spider-Man talking to Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange says, "It's a matter of life and death, I cannot go with you." And then when he goes back through the door, it's obviously our present Spider-Man with Aunt May dying and stuff like that, and it's just so awesome. If you read the comic then you'll know, but if you just listen to me then I've probably just confused you even more. But it is so freaking awesome that it goes all the way back to the Amazing Spider-Man issue 42. Now I'm not sure whether that was volume 1, I highly doubt it. I think it was volume 2 or... yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but either way, this comic was just phenomenal in terms of... I didn't even expect it to be Peter Parker on the other side of the door on the outside, and that was just so awesome. But again, Doctor Strange has sent Peter Parker away, telling him that Aunt May's health and her survival is beyond anything that can be stopped. It takes a great power to stop something like this. And of course, a bird actually flies overhead and starts echoing what Doctor Strange has said, and then Peter actually runs after it, and it turns into a little girl and says, "I can help you." Well, technically it just says "I can," but it's pretty much "I can help you." So in the next issue we're actually going to figure out who this little girl is and why she can help them and what she wants from them. But there is a little twist. I already know the story too well for this, so I'm not going to reveal anything now. But trust me, you will definitely want to read the next issue, and that review should be up tomorrow or the day after, depending on what's going on. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below about this issue, especially with Peter Parker traveling back in time to see Aunt May get shot again, and of course, hearing his younger self through the door talking to Doctor Strange and stuff. It's pretty crazy, it's kind of confusing. So anyway, I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. I thought I've already said what I thought about it, but it's actually more interesting now that I've read it more than like a few times. It gets better every time. But yeah, hit the like button if you like my video. Don't forget to share this video. Don't forget, most of all, to go to my Facebook page and hit the like button, because I actually post theories, previews of the Amazing Spider-Man issue 11, the Amazing Spider-Man issue 12, Miles Morales The Ultimate Spider-Man. I post early previews of those comics, and of course loads of other stuff, so don't forget to go there. The link is in the description. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, and last but not least, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next video.